This is the time of year where the days start to get shorter, temperatures drop, it's getting colder, and our mood starts to shift, and our energy from the summertime starts to slowly fade away. We now are entering our winter season, and today I want to talk about how we can use this time to get refocused on our goals and why the winter is actually the perfect time to mentally reset. Let's talk about our winter arc. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Krizia, and I'm on a journey to help you glow up from the inside out. If that sounds like you, then hit the subscribe button. We're gonna get into first what winter arc even means. This is a perfect time for reflection, reassessing our goals, realigning ourselves, because the winter time is a much slower pace than any other time of the year. A lot of things shift, the weather changes. Of course, we change our outfits, we start layering up more, we start maybe changing our skincare, makeup looks, but a lot of times we actually don't talk about the more important things about how the winter affects us, and that's things like our mood, our emotional health, our physical health, which all seem to take a dip during this time of the year. If we can get ahead of it and be aware of this, we're going to be that much more successful in not letting it completely tarnish our mental health. A lot of us tend to make these common mistakes in the wintertime, which leave us feeling really drained and like we're falling off track on all of our goals. This may seem like an obvious one. It's our mental health. During this time of the year, I think because it's also towards the end of the year, we've worked our butts off probably doing whatever it is that we're doing. We're at our jobs, we're with our families, friends, social gatherings, whatever is happening throughout the whole entire year. At this very moment of the year, which is towards the end, we have carried so much. We probably forget to check in our mental health at this time. While it sounds and seems easier to just relax and rest, that is not necessarily checking in on our mental health, and that is why it tends to dip. So mental health comes first. If you're diagnosed with depression, definitely seek professional medical help. This could be as simple as scheduling time to meditate, to sit in silence every day for 5 minutes maybe, or just having a consistent time to check in with yourself. That means putting your phone down for a few minutes. I am so guilty of this because part of my job is creating content and I'm constantly online. Now that it's personal and career, it kind of blurs the line even more for me if I'm not super aware of drawing that line. This could also mean keeping a journal. I mean, if you've had a journal and you kind of fell off track with it, now is the perfect time to get back into journaling, because what better time than having a winter season where you can be indoors a lot more and you're now having that time to yourself, and we're not as out and about socializing as much as maybe we are in the summer. This is the perfect time to get back into your journaling routine and start keeping track of your mood, or maybe even logging certain things that you're doing, how you feel, and like connecting the dots where you need to see what is maybe triggering you, what is helping you, and all that stuff. Or even just having a journal practice in general to journal your thoughts is gonna help clear your mental space. Number 2, common mistake, not checking in on your goals again, because just because we've set goals maybe at the beginning of the year or even 2 weeks ago, things change. We have to be kind of more aware of how we feel in the present moment. So maybe I felt super overly ambitious on a certain goal that I'm now realizing with the amount of time left in the year and with the way that I'm feeling mentally or physically, maybe I need to readjust that. This one's kind of tricky for me because I do feel like I set really high goals for myself because I've kind of always been like that overachiever, but then I'm now aware and realizing that it's not always healthy to try to push myself to the point where I feel like I'm burning out. So I'm just a little more aware now. Obviously, I think pushing yourself a little bit is going to help you get out of your comfort zone, but just being more mindful about your goals and seeing what still feels like, okay, maybe I can do this, I can push myself a little bit, but it's not going to burn me out. So just really taking that time to reassess your goals. Another reason why this is important is sometimes you just change your mind and the direction and where you're going. Like, for example, I am a content creator and things change so fast in my industry. And sometimes I set a goal for myself to hit a certain metric. Like, oh my gosh, I want to make 500,000 this year. I want to be a millionaire this year, whatever. Shoot for the stars, do what you feel, right? And I kind of set these high goals for myself. But then if I feel like I no longer align with that, where I'm suddenly feeling, okay, maybe I don't need to achieve that right now, or maybe just at all, because I'm feeling like I don't actually want that anymore, or I don't actually need that anymore, that's okay. Give yourself permission to just make sure that these things that you set out to do actually still fulfill you and align with you, because a lot of times we set goals thinking that having that thing is going to make us feel a certain way. And if you are on that journey and you realize at some point that it no longer aligns with you, that's totally fine. But I think it gets more into the burnout area if we start pushing ourselves to do things that we don't even feel aligned with anymore. So really just check in and make sure that whatever you're doing is still aligning with who you are and where you want to go. The next common mistake, prioritizing too much of the superficial self-care and not enough of the things that actually strengthen our minds. If we overload on the passive self-care thing, like taking baths or doing a skincare mask, which are great things, trust me, I'm a makeup artist and I love my girl time and doing my skincare and all that, but that isn't enough for self-care. So that is a step forward. Take it a step further. Reading a book that is going to help strengthen your mind. Going to the gym or working out has become my form of self-care. And I know in the beginning, it's not usually looked at that way because it feels more like a chore, but I've come to a point now where I've built enough discipline where I've realized the benefits that it has on my overall health and my mood. So I actually look forward to working out now, but find what works for you. Just think of other activities that can help build resilience, strength. The next thing, common mistake that often happens, especially at this time of the year, and one that I am constantly working on, is not setting clear boundaries. Okay, this time of the year is overwhelming for a lot of us because of family and maybe having certain things come up that aren't necessarily happy, cheery as for some others. It is very important to set clear boundaries always, but especially during this time of the year. Because also in the holiday season, there's so many things that come up. Lots of holiday parties. In my case, there's a lot of holiday events. I'm learning to be more selective about the things I say yes to because it can be very overwhelming if I just started saying yes to everything that popped up in my calendar. Meanwhile, having my own personal goals that I'm working on. Meanwhile, family gatherings. Meanwhile, traveling. And you get the point. If we don't have clear boundaries, we just find ourselves getting the life sucked out of us and so drained. You also don't want to make the mistake of trying to, live up to everyone else's expectations, which tends to happen. Schedule out a little bit of time to just have some clarity about what boundaries you want to set in place. It's so much easier to have your boundaries thought of in advance, so you aren't caught off guard in the moment when someone asks you for something. One of the phrases that I love and have been loving a lot lately is, let me check my schedule. Anytime something comes up, someone invites me to something, I used to feel pressured right away to respond and say yes, or like, I hope I can make it work. I think I can make it work, and just making it more complicated than it needs to be. Saying something as simple as, let me get back to you, let me check my calendar, is gonna buy you some time and decide for yourself. Is this something I wanna do? Is this an event that I actually wanna go to? And then you can make that decision on your own time. And so that kind of leads into the next point, which is not overcommitting to social gatherings. I know it's really exciting for some of us. I know for me, I get excited to do all these holiday things, and there's so much happening in LA. You can also steer yourself away from your vision and your long-term goals. And I'm assuming you being here, you have those long-term goals. So just remember your long-term vision. I'm not saying don't have fun. Just keep in mind to not say yes to too many things that are going to distract you. And one of my favorite tips is learn how to say no. The best thing you could ever do. Give yourself time to do the things that you actually want to do and that are actually going to help you achieve your goals in the long run. One thing that I see happen too often in the past, I used to really fall off during this time of the year, not prioritizing time to reflect. Because we get so preoccupied with everything going on during this time of the year, it's so easy to be distracted. I like to journal in the morning and before bed. Just being able to remind yourself of the goals and your gratitude list every morning or night is going to help you stay on track. If you feel like you can't commit to a daily journal practice just yet, you can start with a weekly practice, maybe every Sunday, because I feel like Sundays are universally our relaxed self-care day. Everyone's favorite ignoring physical health. Everything gets sweet. We've got pumpkin spice season that kicks it off. And then from there, it's just like, woo, pies, desserts, many drinks, like eggnog, hot chocolate, all the sweets. I find it really hard, but I'm learning to be disciplined, but still be able to enjoy myself during this time of the year. And I'm all for a treat, but in a way that it's not going to compromise my health and throw me completely off track, because I've worked so hard to have my diet a certain way and to have my fitness routine, that now I realize the high cost if I just completely let go of that in the winter season. So, and it's not only that, it's reframing your mindset to see that, you know, having that much sugar is not going to be good for you in your sleep, how you feel, your energy throughout the day, how you focus and get things done. It's not only about like restricting, it's about reframing your mindset to understand that your health comes first. So you can think clear, go out and achieve all those goals that you set out to do, and just have the energy and time to be present. If you've been doing daily walks, whatever kind of body movement you can do, just don't make the mistake of slipping entirely, because this time of the year is when it's easier for it to happen. I'm not gonna lie, but you're different. That's not gonna happen for you. So stay on top of it in a way where you feel balanced, but just do a little walk maybe every day. Try to catch the sun earlier in the day, because it's getting darker so much earlier now. It's like dark at 4 o'clock where I'm at. So if you need to, get outside as soon as you wake up, even if it's just to sit in the sun for 5 minutes or go for a little short walk. Overemphasizing metrics, goals. If we put too much priority on one area, it's going to cause an imbalance. It can get toxic if you're overly focused on, I want to, you know, lose 20 pounds, whatever that goal is. If we focus too much on the external success and like the outcome of what we're trying to get. Remember, the goal is to, of course, achieve our goals, but also prioritize our inner glow up, our mental health, our clarity, our spiritual health, being more in tune with ourselves. That's going to be more so the thing that keeps us feeling fulfilled and happy, and we can show up as a better person in the world by doing that. And also, don't underestimate the power of rest. Sleep is super important. Get your quality sleep, get your beauty rest, because we need that. Those are the small habits every day that are gonna make a huge impact on your overall happiness and your goals. If you're on a mission to change your life and rebrand your identity, it is not going to be easy sometimes, especially during this time of the year where most of us tend to fall off track. But I believe in you. You got this. Stay focused, take care of yourself and your health, and journal. Use your journaling practices, communicate your boundaries, learn how to say no. All of these things over time, it's not going to happen easily overnight, but the more that you practice it, the more that it's going to become easier to make better choices. And that is the goal. Is we want to shift ourselves into our higher version of ourselves by making those small decisions often, consistently, even when it's hard. That is where change actually happens. If you made it to the end of the video, comment down below winter arc, or even share a goal if you're comfortable with it of what you're wanting to achieve or maybe focus on this winter season. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.